Hey guys, I'm Alan Zirkle with Mr. Z's Music Lessons. Today we're going to be doing a lead guitar tutorial over Whole Heart, Hold Me Now by Hillsong United. And if you'll check in the description of the video, I have a link to a tab that I made down there. And that tab will just take you through the whole song. If you print that off, it's super helpful. We're in the key of E. Now there's a couple guitars playing, but I'm just going to cover kind of the main like lead lines and riffs. But if you want it to sound exactly like it, obviously you need two guitars. So we are in the key of E, and our tempo is 162 beats per minute. So for the intro, we're going to start off, and also it's in 6/8 for the time signature. We're going to start off on the first fret of the G string, so we'll play that. Then we'll play the first fret again, then the second fret of the G string, then the fourth fret of the G, then we'll come down to the fourth fret of the D string, and then we'll go 4, 2, 4. Then we're back to the first fret of the G string. Then we'll go 1, 2, 4 up to the 6th fret. Then we'll have 6, 4, 2. And basically it just repeats that. So the intro sounds like this. And repeat. So that's what the intro sounds like. Notice on that second time through, it leaves a couple of notes out if you want to do that, but that's the intro. And for verse 1, there's not a whole lot going on, but I'm just going to kind of play some higher chords up on the kind of mid-range of the neck. So coming off of that intro, we started on the first fret of the G, so that end of that intro is like, so we had the first fret, and then I'm going to come up to the 9th fret of the G and B strings, and we'll play both of those. Then for our B chord, I'm going to go up to the 11th fret of the G string and the 12th fret of the B string. Hold that for 2 measures. And then I'll come back to the 9th fret of the G and the 10th fret of the B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 11 and 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, back to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, that's what I'm going to play on verse 1. I'll just kind of outline the chord structure, and that's it for verse 1. Then on verse 2, I'm going to play a hybrid picking riff. So I'm going to bar my first finger across the 9th fret of the D, G, and B strings. And then we'll start out with our 3rd finger on the 11th fret of the D string. So we'll pick the D string twice. And then the 9th fret of the B, I'm going to pluck with my ring finger in my right hand. Then we'll come back to the 11th fret of the D string, and I'll strum up, down, down. And then we'll pluck the 9th fret again. And then we'll pluck the 9th fret, or 11th fret, sorry, one more time. So it sounds like this. Next measure, we're just going to bar across the 9th fret of the D, G, and B strings, and we'll play the same pattern. Then we'll go up to the 13th fret of the D string and the 12th fret of the B string. We'll play the same pattern twice in a row. So let me go ahead and play this verse for you. It plays the same thing 4 times. I'll just play it a couple times just so you can hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's it for verse 2, and we're also going to play the exact same riff on verse 3. Then for pre-chorus 1, we're going to bar across the 9th fret of the B and G strings, and we're just going to switch back and forth between the B and G strings, so our pattern will be like. And then we'll put our 2nd finger on the 10th fret of the B string, and we'll play the same picking pattern. We'll just do the same thing again, back to 9, and 10, bit faster up to tempo. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do that same thing all the way through again, and then later on in the song, like when it does this pre-chorus again after the third verse, we're going to play the same thing, just it does this little like walk down in the middle. It goes 10th fret of the B string, 9th fret of the B, and then 11th fret of the G. So let me play that for you. This is after verse 3. It sounds like this. And that's it for the pre-chorus. Then for chorus 1, we have this really neat sounding riff. So we're going to bar across the 9th fret of the D, G, and B strings, and we'll play the B string, G string, D string, then we'll do the same thing again. So it's like, then we'll play the 9th fret of the B, 10th fret of the B, 12th fret of the B. So that first measures. Then our next pattern, just leave that bar there, and then we'll put the ring finger on the 11th fret of the G string, and then the pinky on the 11th fret of the E string. And I'm going to use the my ring finger in my right hand to play that E string 11th fret. So this one will go G string, high E, plucking with the finger, then D string, then G, E, and then the D. So that's like, then we'll play the 11th fret of the G, 9th fret of the G, back to the 11th fret. So that measure again is. Then we go back to like we started again. And then the last pattern, we'll leave the bar there, and then we'll put our middle finger on the 10th fret of the B string, and we'll strum the E, B, G, E, B, G. Then we'll play the 9th fret of the E, 12th fret of the B, 10th fret of the B. So that last measure goes. So I'll go ahead and play through all of chorus 1 for you one time. So it goes like this. In those last two measures there, we're just playing octaves. So we'll play the 9th fret of the G string and the 12th fret of the E, and the rhythm of that was like. And that's it for chorus 1. Then the second time, whenever we go through chorus 1 later on in the song, we'll end with this like build up where we play the 9th fret of the D and, 9th fret of the G and B strings for one measure, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll put our second finger on there on the 10th fret, play that for one measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll go ahead and play this entire chorus for you whenever it comes back in the second time. So it sounds like this. Builds. So that's what that sounds like. Then the next part that we'll go over, I have labeled as chorus 2 on the tab there. And the reason I'm wearing different clothes is because I wasn't happy with a couple parts of the video as I was editing them. So I was like, let's just go back and refilm those. So here I am finishing it up. So on chorus 2, we're going to play octaves, and the we'll be on the 6th fret of the D string and the 9th fret of the B. And we're going to switch between kind of two different rhythms. The real syncopated rhythm is going to be down, up, up, down, up. So we'll switch between that and then just strumming eighth notes just on the downbeat. So I'll just play through chorus 2 one time for you. We're just going to slide those octaves around, and here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. that's it for chorus 2. And if you guys will just like play that along with the the original song on YouTube, you'll feel that groove in there, that down, up, 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 down, up, up, up. Sounds really cool when everybody's together doing that. And that's it for chorus 2. So for the instrumental, I'm just going to play through it for you guys, and it's basically the same picking pattern that we did on the very first chorus. Just occasionally, we'll play the 9th fret of the E string, 11th fret of the E string, and the 12th fret of the E. So I'll try to play through this whole thing for you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's it for the instrumental. Then for pre-chorus 2, so like right after that instrumental, it just continues playing through that riff that I just showed you, that little picking part. So it does that a bunch, and then once the song kind of kicks in and starts driving, I'm just going to start there for you guys. So we're going to switch to an octave riff, and we'll start out on the 2nd fret of the D string with the 1st finger, and then the 5th fret of the B string. So we'll start there for one measure. And we'll slide out to 7 and 10 on the same strings. Then 6 and 9. 7 and 10. And back to 2 and 5. 4 and 7. 6 and 9. 7 and 10. So here's what that sounds like again, just starting right where those octaves kick in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 and 10. 6 and 9. 7 and 10. Back to 2 and 5. 4 and 7. 6 and 9. 7 and 10. Then on chorus 4, we're going to play a really similar pattern to chorus 2, doing those octaves, and go ahead and use lots of overdrive here. And again, we're going to switch between that like 8th note down strumming, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then sometimes we'll do that down, up, 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 down, up pattern. So I'll just play through it so you guys can hear it, and you can follow along with the tab there on the screen if you want. So I'll count us off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's it for chorus 4. Then for the outro, it basically plays the same thing as the intro again, except there's one guitar playing like the low octave like we did at the very beginning, and then there's another guitar playing in an octave higher, just kind of real quietly. But I'll show you the octave higher just in case you want to play that. So we'll start on the 9th fret of the B string, then we'll go 9, 10, 12, then we'll go to the 11th fret of the G, then 11, 9, 11, then 9th fret of the B, then 9, play through the outro once for you so you can hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay guys, well that's it for this video. It's a pretty big song, but I really hope that this at least helps you get started with it, kind of get you on the right track. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.